City rots, people blind. They walk streets, head down, pretending not to see. But shadows see them, and in shadows, he waits. Man with no reflection. Glass shows nothing. No face, no eyes, just void. Victims call him urban legend. Foolish. Legends don't leave bodies cold and hollow. Police find them, drained, faces twisted in fear. They say heart attack. I know better. I saw him, in glass, in puddles after rain, staring, empty, eyes like black holes. Felt my soul shiver, tried to warn them. They laughed, said I was mad, but when mirrors crack and lights flicker, they'll remember. Too late. Man with no reflection doesn't hunt. He waits, watches. When your gaze lingers too long in glass, he steps through, pulls you in, leaves only an echo of your fear. I keep lights low, avoid glass, but he's patient. I hear him in the cracks of the walls. Feel him in the chill of my breath. He's coming. For me. For all of us.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Welcome to the Draconian universe.
Imagine this. You wake up in the middle of the night. The dim glow of the streetlight filtering through your window. You step into the bathroom, eyes barely open, and glance at the mirror. But something is wrong. The reflection staring back isn't yours. Or worse, there's nothing staring back at all. Some urban legends are whispers, stories exchanged in hushed tones. But the story of the man with no reflection is different. It is seen, it is felt, and for those unfortunate enough to encounter him, it is never forgotten. The first recorded case dates back to the 1800s, a diary entry found in the ruins of an old Victorian home.
He stood at the edge of my vision, motionless, observing. His eyes were black wells, absorbing the light. I turned to face him, and in the dim candlelight, my knees buckled. His figure was solid, yet the mirror behind him revealed nothing. A void, a hole in reality.
The description repeats across decades, across continents. The man with no reflection doesn't discriminate. He appears in bathroom mirrors, in department store fitting rooms, in glass-paneled subway stations, always watching, always empty. One such modern encounter came from a woman named Diane, who recounted her chilling experience online. I was in an old antique shop when I saw him. He stood right behind me in the reflection of a tall, gilded mirror. I turned quickly. No one was there. But the worst part, the mirror still showed him, standing perfectly still. And then, he smiled. The man with no reflection is not just a phantom or trick of the mind. He is a phenomenon, a presence that defies explanation. And once you see him, he never truly leaves you. There are many theories about who or what he is. Some say he's a spirit, forever cursed to exist in our world, without an identity. Others believe he is a manifestation of something darker, an entity that thrives on the fear of recognition. A particularly disturbing theory comes from a psychologist who studied cases of patients claiming to see him. Mirrors represent self-awareness. If someone sees something that should not be there, it could signify a fracture in reality, or the mind itself. But what if it's not the mind breaking? What if something from the other side is forcing its way in? Despite centuries of sightings, no definitive proof exists. But those who claim to have seen him all share one thing in common: an overwhelming, consuming dread that follows them long after the encounter. Witnesses of the man with no reflection report paranoia, sleepless nights, and an unshakable sense that they are being watched. Some even develop a fear of their own reflection, covering mirrors or avoiding them altogether. A case from 2012 tells of a man who removed every mirror from his home after an encounter at a barbershop. He insisted the man had stood behind him the entire time, but left no trace in the mirror. His friends thought he was joking until he disappeared. I can feel him. He's waiting for me to see him again. And this time, I don't think he'll just be watching. He wrote in a final message before disappearing. The more one acknowledges the man with no reflection, the stronger his presence becomes. Some researchers of the paranormal believe he feeds on attention, growing more tangible with each retelling of his story. An artist in Prague became obsessed after witnessing him in a rain-slicked window. He began painting mirrors with eerie, faceless figures, staring out from the other side. When asked why, he simply responded, "I am trying to capture him before he captures me." He vanished weeks later. His apartment filled with unfinished paintings, each depicting the same shadowy figure reaching out from the glass. There is a ritual whispered among those who have studied the man with no reflection. A supposed way to banish him, though no one can confirm it works. At midnight, stand before a mirror in complete darkness. Hold a candle and stare into your reflection without blinking. Speak your full name 3 times, then blow out the candle. If the ritual is successful, the darkness will seem to shift, pulling away like a living thing. But if it fails, if the reflection lingers too long after the candle is out, you might not be alone anymore. What if the man with no reflection is more than just a story? What if he is real, waiting, watching through the glass of every reflective surface? Tonight, when you turn off the lights and glance at your mirror, take a second look, hold your breath, and if something feels off, if the shadows don't align just right, don't stare too long, because if you see him, he'll know. And once he knows you can see him, he may never leave you alone again. This is the man with no reflection.